Okay, we're doing our first math page today. This is our very first math page today, and you can tear it out of your book. So you get out your math book and you're tearing out page 1 and 2 out of your book. 1 and 2. And I want to just practice saying numbers, how they're supposed to be said, using this place value chart. And I'm just going to write 5 numbers here. I'll write 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easy there. And so we're practicing today how to say numbers and also understanding what the value of these different numbers here. See how there's blue here and it's blue here, blue here, blue here. That's kind of dividing each section. And what we've got here is we've got 54,321. If I were to add some numbers here, I'd say 87,654,321. That'd be the right way to say that out loud. What if I went even bigger? Now you always put your commas every 3. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, and then there'd be a comma. 1, 2, 3, and then there'd be a comma. 1, 2, 3, and then there'd be a comma, but 1, 2, and there's no more number there, so you don't do a comma there. And the right way to say this giant number that I have here would be 21,987,654,321. And you don't say ones, even though you say billions and then millions and then thousands and then ones. Well, you don't say ones, you say everything else. So we'll do another number here. I'll make a big number. Okay, here's another number. Remember, every 3 places, then there's a comma. There's a comma. And because that doesn't go 3 places, we don't do a comma. So what we have here is 12,345,678. I'll make another number. I just kind of made up a number here. Really big one. I'll put a comma every 3 numbers. And we have 45,458,989,621. And the more we practice this, you'll understand the different place values and how to properly read numbers. When we look at your page, it has a great little chart in it showing us the ones place, tens place, hundreds place, 1,000s, 10,000s, 100,000s, 1 millions, 10 millions, 100 millions. If we were to keep going, if it was to go larger, it'd be then your 1 billions, 10 billions, 100 billions. But it stopped on millions on this one. So we'll go ahead and get started with class practice. And for number 1, all they're telling us to do is we got to read these sentences using large numbers. So we're just going to go ahead and read it. And I'll read it out loud as you're looking at it in your book or up on the screen. A. About 450 million people in the world speak the English language. The number 450 million written out looks like this. 450, 000, 000, 0.000. B. In the 1990 official census of the United States population, the population was 249,632,692. That number is read 249,632,692. C. One college has about 8,859,478 volumes of books in the library. That number is read 8,859,478. Okay, number 2 tells us to place commas correctly in these numbers. So remember, you start on this end, you go 1, 2, 3, and your third place over gets a comma. And then 1, 2, 3 again, go 3 places over and it gets a comma. 1, 2, 3 again would put us here, and you don't put a comma there if there's not a number on this side of the comma. Okay, B, I'm going to count 3 places over. 1, 2, 3. So a comma goes there. Then I'll go 3 more places, and a comma goes there. And it's read 29,756,284. C, count over 3 places, put a comma. Count over 3 more places, put a comma, and that'll be the last comma for that one. And it says 37,605,297. D, I'll put the comma 3 places over, then 3 more places, and that would be the last one. 689,543,811. E, comma 3 places over, and that will be your only comma, because you wouldn't put one after the 6 there. This number would be read 652,958. F, comma goes 3 places over, and then you're going to get another one right there. So we get 2,187,351. Number 3 tells us to write these numbers. The first one is 16 million, so at million let's put a comma. 235,000, so 2, 3, 5, where it says 1,000 we'll put a comma. 516. 16,235,516. B says 25,411,635. C says 89,023,000, so I need to put 0, 2, 3, 23,752. Okay, I'm going to say some numbers to you, and I want to see if you can write it down. What will happen is I'll do each one. I'll say the number, you try to write it down, and then I'll write it on here on the screen. And you might have to erase yours and correct it, but see if you can do these on your own. 4A, I'll say the number to you, I want you to write it down. So in this blank where 4A is, write this number that I say. 3,271,313. That's 3,271,313. 3,271,313. Okay, and you might have been able to do it on your own. I'm going to put the correct answer on the board. If yours is wrong, go ahead and erase it and make it right. Okay, letter B. I'm going to say it, and I want you to see if you can get it right on your own. Letter B is 9,892,067. That's 9,892,067. 9,892,067. 9,892,067. I'm going to go ahead and start writing it. Correct yours if you need to. $9,892,067. C. C is 2,478,309. 2,478,309. 2,478,309. Okay, I'm going to write it out. $2,478,309. Okay, letter D, 231,672. 231,672. I'm going to write it now. Okay, E. E is 932. Kind of an easy one. 932. And that's how E should look. F, 6,784. 6,784. 6,784. And that's how F should look right there. Okay, G, 9,431,678. That's 9,431,678. I'm going to go ahead and write it. And our last one, H, is 35,001. Kind of tricky because there's going to be some zeros in the middle there. 35,001. And I'm going to go ahead and write it. There's your 35,001. Okay, let's look at the story problems on the back. I want you to go ahead and skip A and kind of skip the directions too. They tell you to do it on notebook paper, but I want you to do it right here. It says Mrs. Neal baked 36 chocolate chip cookies, 48 raisin cookies, and 40 peanut butter cookies for her Sunday school class. How many cookies did she bake altogether? When you see the word altogether, you know that you are adding it up. So we need to add up the numbers 36, 48, and 40 to figure out how many she made altogether. 6 plus 8 is 14, plus 0 would be still 14. So we'll put a 4 here and carry the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 4 would be 8, plus 4 would be 12. And so we get an answer of 124 cookies. Go ahead and circle your answer. And we'll look at C now. C says Dylan spent $4.78 on a biography of Hudson Taylor, missionary to China. How much change did he get back from $5? So if the cost of the book was $4.78, and it's asking how much change did he get back from $5, when you see the word change, you can assume that you subtract. So we need to subtract $4.78 from $5. We're going to have to do a little borrowing to make this happen, because you can't take 8 away from 1. We're going to go all the way over and borrow from the 5. It becomes a 4. And we borrow 1. So that 1 gets moved right there. And we now have a 10 there. We now borrow from the 10. It becomes 9. And the 1 gets moved over there. Now we can subtract 10 minus 8. We get 2. 9 minus 7. We get 2. And 4 minus 4 is 0. And so our answer, I just bring the decimal straight down, is 22 cents. I'm going to go ahead and have you guys do the rest of the math problems on your own. But before we do, we're going to do something kind of fun, and we'll be doing this for a few times during math for a little while. It's called Would You Rather, and I want everybody to stand up, push in your chairs, and just stand at your desks. I'm going to ask you a crazy question. Some are gross, some are fun, and you have to make a choice. The game is called Would You Rather, and I'll give you 2 choices, and you have to choose one. When I say Would You Rather, you'll either have to go to this side of the room if you choose the first thing I say, or you'll have to go to this side of the room if you choose the second thing that I say. So you'll have to decide which one you want to do. Okay, first one. Would you rather be stuck in a tiny room all night with your dad while he is sound asleep and snoring as loud as a motorcycle? If you'd rather do that, you go to this side of the room. Or be stuck in the same room, a tiny room, all day with a huge pile of your whole family's dirtiest socks. Which one would you choose? And if you don't have a dad, maybe you use your mom and say she's snoring all night and you go that way. Or your family's dirtiest socks. Sometimes you can stop people from snoring by making them sleep on their side instead of their back. Air conditioners can develop something called dirty sock syndrome, which occurs when germs grow inside them and they cause them to smell like, you guessed it, yeah, like dirty socks. Okay, everybody go stand back at their desks. Stand back at your desk. We'll do another one. Okay, everybody's standing back at their desks. And I've got another would you rather question. Would you rather lick someone's eyeball or have somebody else lick your eyeball? I told you some of these are gross. Would you rather lick someone's eyeball or lick somebody else's eyeball? So you go to this side of the room or this side of the room. Some reptiles, like geckos, they clean their eyeballs by licking them. Okay, go back to your desks. We'll do another one. Okay, which one would you rather do? Have the ability to turn invisible, but you had no control over it, so sometimes it turns off and on. So you could turn invisible, but you didn't know when you would. Or to be able to breathe underwater for an hour at a time. Be invisible or breathe underwater for an hour at a time. Beavers, they can hold their breath underwater for 45 minutes at a time. Okay, go ahead and walk back to your desks. Which one would you rather for this one? Would you rather have to stay back 1 year in school, so you'd have to go back to 3rd grade for 1 more year, or have no summer vacation for 4 years in a row? Which would you rather do? Have to go back to 3rd grade for a year, or not have summer vacation for 4 years in a row? Some schools in the United States, they've given up their long summer vacations and they go to school around you. That's how the public schools here, they kind of do that. It's not so bad. The kids, you still get kind of a summer break, but it's a lot shorter. Okay, everybody go stand back at their desks. Stand back at their desks. We'll do another one here. Would you rather burn your mouth really bad every time you eat pizza, hot pizza, and you had to burn your mouth every time you ate it, or never eat pizza again? Pizza is one of my favorites. I can imagine never eating it, but I don't like to burn my mouth on it. In the United States, 350 slices of pizza are eaten every second, which means each person is eating about 23 pounds of pizza per year. There's a special term for when you've burned your mouth on hot pizza. Pizza palate. Luckily, pizza palate is usually minor and it heals on its own after a few days. Alright. We'll do one more. Everybody go stand back at their desks. Would you rather have the power of Superman for 1 day per year? So every year you could be like Superman. You go to that side of the room if that's what you choose. Or have the power of the President of the United States every day for 1 year. So one day per year for the rest of your life, you could be Superman, just for 1 day every year. Or you could be President of the United States for 1 whole year, and then you're done. Okay, go ahead and return back to your seats. You guys can do the rest on your own, because you guys are very smart kids. You guys are going to do so well this year in math. I believe in you guys. You guys are great.